A graduate of Michigan State University, Astronova was scouring space with the help of the Subaru telescope when she suddenly spotted something shocking in space, a massive comet speeding towards an unknown direction. This comet was one of the greatest discoveries of the century, and the credit for it was going to Kate. When this news reached Kate's professor, Dr. Randall Mindy, he was overjoyed and, along with the other students, began celebrating Kate's achievement. They named the comet after Kate, calling it Comet Tobiaski. During the celebration, the students asked Randall about the comet's size, speed, and direction. Randall then began his calculations, but the results that emerged filled him with fear. He immediately sent the other students home and informed Kate that the comet was approximately 9 kilometers wide and moving at a speed of 25,000 kilometers per hour, directly toward Earth. This meant that the comet was on a collision course with the planet. If it struck Earth, the devastation would be so immense that all life forms would be wiped out. The most terrifying fact was that there were only 6 months and 14 days left before impact. This information sent shivers down Kate's spine. She immediately called Teddy Oglethorpe, the head of NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, and informed him of everything. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Teddy immediately arranged a plane to bring Randall and Kate to Washington, D.C., and they went directly to the White House to inform the president about this critical issue. They relayed the news to the president's staff and waited outside the office for a meeting. However, they were shocked to discover that the President of the United States, Jeannie Orlean, was showing no concern about the matter. Instead of addressing this existential threat, she was preoccupied with her birthday party and political decisions. Kate, Randall, and Teddy waited for hours for a meeting with the president, but in the end, the president's son, Jason, who was also her chief of staff, told them to come back the next day. Frustrated, Kate and Randall left. Finally, after a long wait, the president called them into her office. Jason was also present. Randall and Kate, visibly shaken, explained the situation to the president. They told her that in just 6 months and 14 days, when the comet collides with Earth, the impact would be equivalent to millions of atomic bombs, causing massive earthquakes and tsunamis that would lead to the complete destruction of the world. However, despite learning about the impending apocalypse, the president reacted as if it was just another trivial issue like inflation or unemployment. She asked Randall about the probability of the comet actually hitting Earth. Randall responded, 100%, but the president was more concerned with saving her political career than saving the world. She told Randall that with elections approaching, they couldn't afford to tell people they would be dead in 6 months, as this could cost her party the election. She ordered Randall and Kate to keep this information a secret until after the elections, at which point they would take action. Hearing this left Kate, Randall, and Teddy in shock. Randall argued that there was still time to launch rockets equipped with nuclear bombs to either destroy the comet in space or alter its trajectory. Any delay in action could be fatal, but Orlean refused to listen. Randall, Kate, and Teddy walked out of the White House, unable to believe that the president was postponing action on such a serious issue for political gain. Determined to inform the public, they decided to turn to the media in the hopes of pressuring the government into taking action. Kate's boyfriend, Philip, was a journalist. Through him, they arranged a meeting with reporters and the director of the renowned newspaper, the New York Herald. During the meeting, Randall and Kate revealed details about the comet and how the president was covering up the impending catastrophe to protect her political career. The journalists were shocked by the revelation and agreed to allow Randall and Kate to expose the truth on the Daily Rip, a widely popular talk show watched around the world. The next day, Randall and Kate arrived at the Daily Rip studio. However, before their segment, the show's hosts were busy interviewing world-famous pop singer Riley Bina, who had recently broken up with her boyfriend, DJ Cello. Their breakup had dominated social media and news channels, and to boost ratings, the media was prioritizing their love story over the existential threat to Earth. After waiting a long time, Randall and Kate were finally called onto the show. They revealed the terrifying truth that in exactly 6 months, a massive comet was going to destroy the planet. But instead of taking them seriously, the hosts laughed at them and mocked them, suggesting that Randall and Kate needed psychiatric treatment. Hearing this, Kate lost her composure. She started yelling, desperately trying to make people understand that this was no joke. If they didn't act now, the entire planet would suffer the consequences. She left the set in tears, but still, no one was ready to accept the truth. The hosts dismissed it as a prank. A while later, Randall and Kate checked the show's audience engagement graph. It was clear that people were far more interested in Riley and DJ Cello's love story than in the life-threatening comet. Instead of taking the comet seriously, the public turned Kate's emotional reaction into a meme, ridiculing her. This led to widespread mockery, and Kate's boyfriend even broke up with her. Time passed, and during this period, President Orlean found herself caught in a scandal. An explicit photo of hers had leaked on social media, leading to public humiliation. It became clear that she was likely to lose the upcoming election. Meanwhile, the FBI arrested Randall, Kate, and Teddy for leaking classified information. However, instead of taking them to jail, they were taken to the White House. The president then called them into her office and admitted that her scientists had verified their data, confirming that the comet was real and heading towards Earth. She announced that the government would now take action to save the world. At this point, Kate sarcastically remarked that the only reason Orlean was acting now was because of the election scandal. She accused Orlean of using the crisis for her political advantage. Shockingly, Orlean shamelessly agreed. Although Randall and Kate were disgusted, they found solace in the fact that at least the world would be saved. Orlean and her son Jason then launched a political campaign around the comet, using an emergency broadcast to inform the world that a massive comet was going to strike Earth in 5 months. However, the president reassured the public that they had a plan in place. The plan involved launching nuclear missile-equipped rockets into space to destroy the comet before it could reach Earth. Although these rockets could be remotely controlled from Earth, to gain public sympathy, the president turned the mission into a heroic sacrifice. She selected a military general, Benedict, to lead the mission, portraying him as a selfless hero. She also credited Randall, Kate, and Teddy for their contributions. This political maneuvering worked. The public rallied behind Orlean, and as a result, she won the election in a landslide victory. Finally, the day arrived when the rockets were to be launched. The entire world anxiously watched as the mission commenced. Randall and Kate, along with President Orlean and her staff, gathered at the White House to witness the event. During this time, Peter Isherwell, a billionaire tech mogul who owned Bash Mobile and Electronic Devices, entered the scene. Isherwell was one of Orlean's biggest supporters and financial backers. As the countdown began, multiple rockets were launched into space, and the world celebrated their successful departure from Earth's atmosphere. Scientists estimated an 81% chance of success. However, moments later, all the rockets deployed parachutes and began returning to Earth. Everyone was confused. Why had the mission suddenly failed? Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, and Teddy sat in a room, perplexed over what had happened. Meanwhile, Orlean was busy in a meeting with her people. Just then, Jason entered and told Randall that he had been appointed as the White House's chief science advisor. Stunned, Randall joined the meeting. Everyone was anxious to understand the reason behind the mission's failure. It was then that Isherwell revealed the truth. He had found that the comet contained precious minerals worth $140 trillion. Instead of destroying it, they planned to mine it for profit, even if it meant risking all of humanity. Kate also left everything behind and went to stay with her parents. But unfortunately, her parents did not even allow her to enter the house. This was because Kate's parents supported President Orlean and Ravel's mission to extract minerals from the comet. In reality, Orlean had lied to the public, claiming that the comet was not going to collide with Earth and that if they managed to harness it, their country would become the richest in the world. There would be no unemployment, and everyone would have abundant wealth. In this way, the president blinded people with the lure of jobs and money. People trusted Orlean's words more than scientific evidence. Kate's parents were among those people. They clearly told Kate that if she did not support the president, there was no place for her in their house. On the other hand, Ravel and the president assigned Randall the task of explaining the benefits of this mission to the world. He was actively promoting the mission on television. Sometime later, Randall visited the facility with the president and Ravel to see the drone that was going to install explosives on the comet. During this visit, Randall questioned Ravel, saying, "Mr. Ravel, according to a report I received, you have not scientifically tested this mission. Instead, you have left it to rely solely on your technology. Not only that, but you also fired all the people who questioned this mission." Randall continued, "Mr. Ravel, as the White House chief science advisor, I want you to first scientifically prove that this mission is feasible. Do not treat it as a business." Hearing this, Ravel got annoyed and replied, "Dr. Randall, this is not business. This is the future. You have no idea how precise my technology and algorithms are. With their help, I can predict everyone's future with 96.5% accuracy. Would you like to know how you will die? I have seen your future, and according to it, you will die a boring and meaningless death, and no one will be there with you." He continued, "Not just you, but with my technology, I can predict the future of any person in the world. So, do not question my technology again." With this, Ravel shut Randall up. But now, Randall understood that Ravel and President Orlean were about to throw the world into disaster for their own benefit. Proceeding with this mission without any scientific testing was equivalent to celebrating before doom. Now, only 25 days remained before the comet would reach Earth. During this time, Randall was invited again for an interview on a TV show. The television channels and media had also been bought by the government. They presented the news about the comet as entertainment for their own benefit. Meanwhile, the film industry took advantage of the situation and made a movie based on the comet's story, scheduled to be released on the same day the comet would hit Earth. People saw the comet as a joke. On the show, the host asked Randall whether the comet was real or not. This enraged Randall, and he shouted at the world on live television, revealing the truth that everyone was about to die. However, even then, no one was ready to believe him. Following this statement, Randall was dismissed from the White House. Meanwhile, Kate, exhausted by the world, was living on the streets. She met a new friend named Yul. Kate already knew that the world was going to end, so before death, she was experiencing love with Yul. Suddenly, she saw a bright light in the sky. It was nothing else but the comet, now so close to Earth that it could be seen with the naked eye. Now that death was imminent, fear started to grow among people. Randall and Kate reunited and began warning people that this was the comet that was about to end the entire planet. Randall, Kate, and Teddy launched a campaign called Just Look Up, urging people to look up at the sky and take the danger seriously. Their goal was to pressure the government to act responsibly. Many celebrities, including singer Riley Bina and DJ Cello, created songs for the Just Look Up movement to raise awareness about the impending catastrophe. However, President Orlean retaliated by spreading rumors that Randall and Kate were trying to scare people unnecessarily. She even declared that the comet would not hit Earth, launching a counter-movement called Don't Look Up. This created a trend on social media. Those who believed the comet would destroy the world supported the Just Look Up movement, while those who blindly trusted the president and felt carefree supported the Don't Look Up movement. Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, and Teddy realized that no matter what they did, President Orlean was only interested in her own benefit. However, they had some hope from other countries. Since Orlean and Ravel had refused to share the comet's minerals with other nations, Russia, India, and China decided to launch a joint mission to destroy the comet. Unfortunately, their rocket, hastily built, exploded before it could even launch, shattering Randall, Kate, and Teddy's last hope. The comet was now dangerously close to Earth. At this point, people finally started to realize the truth. President Orlean had deceived them all along. But now it was too late. The comet was only hours away from impact, and stopping it was impossible. People across the world began praying for Orlean and Ravel's mission to succeed. Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, Yul, and Teddy went to Randall's home. Randall had no faith that Ravel's mission would succeed, so he gathered his loved ones to spend his final moments with them. He wanted to end his life peacefully and happily. At the same time, Orlean and Ravel were prepared to execute their mission. The whole world was watching. Orlean joked with Ravel. "Ravel, you really scared Randall by predicting his death. By the way, I also want to know how I will die." Ravel replied, "You will be eaten by a brontorok." Shocked, Orlean asked, "What is a brontorok?" Ravel responded, "I don't know, but that's what my algorithms predict." The rocket was launched, sending 30 drones toward the comet. However, 4 drones crashed on Earth itself, while the remaining 26 continued toward the comet. Ravel reassured everyone, saying the crashed drones were just extras. The remaining drones landed on the comet's surface and began drilling to place explosives. But suddenly, there was a powerful explosion, severing all connections with the drones. Seeing this, Ravel broke into a sweat. He realized the mission had failed, meaning the end of the world was now certain. Ravel and Orlean made an excuse to use the bathroom and fled the control room. The news of the mission's failure spread worldwide, triggering chaos and riots. People rushed to be with their families in their final moments. Meanwhile, Randall spent his last hours having dinner with his family and friends. During this time, Orlean called Randall. She revealed that they had anticipated mission failure and had secretly built a spaceship to escape Earth. The ship could accommodate 2,000 people. Orlean invited Randall to join them, but he refused, choosing to die with his family rather than live as a coward. He told Orlean, "Enjoy with your son, Jason." But Orlean suddenly realized she had been so focused on her own escape that she had forgotten to bring Jason along. Back on Earth, Jason was still waiting in the control room for Orlean to return from the bathroom. Meanwhile, the comet struck Earth, causing a massive explosion that completely obliterated the planet. The blast was so intense that Earth's debris scattered into space. Every living creature on the planet perished. However, at that moment, a spaceship successfully escaped Earth. It was Ravel's ship, carrying him and a group of wealthy individuals. The advanced ship was designed to automatically find a new habitable planet. After a journey of 22,740 years, the ship finally discovered an Earth-like planet and released survival pods containing the passengers. Some pods malfunctioned and crashed, killing their occupants, but others landed safely. As the survivors stepped out, they marveled at the lush green planet. Among them were Ravel and Orlean. Suddenly, they spotted a strange creature. Mesmerized by its beauty, Orlean approached it, only for the creature to latch onto her skull and tear her apart. Ravel's prediction had come true. Orlean was eaten by a Brontorok. More of these creatures arrived, devouring the remaining survivors. Thus, human greed led to the extinction of mankind. So if you like this video, please do like and share this video, and subscribe to this channel for such videos.